Hello, how's it going? It's Jocelyn here, and I am excited to be with you today. Today, I actually have an exciting update and something new that's going to happen to this podcast. I have decided after a year of long deliberation that I need to change the name of the podcast. And so we are going to be talking about that and why and what the new name will be and what the future of this podcast is going to look like. So I'm excited to have you join me, and thanks for being here. If you're like me and you often skip through podcasters' intro jingle, don't skip through it this time. Just listen to it and get a vision for where we're going to start and what the new name of the podcast is going to be. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, host of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Thanks for joining. So, if you followed through and you listened to the intro jingle, you heard that we are going with positivity in pregnancy. I want to have a searchable name. I want women who are having a struggle in pregnancy and motherhood to be able to easily be able to search this podcast and find it. Because finding positivity through my thoughts during pregnancy and in my motherhood has changed my life. It's changed my pregnancies and it has changed my motherhood. And I want to offer that to more women. So we are doing a highly searchable, easy to find name that's not complicated and hard to spell and difficult to find. I did get advice a little over a year ago that I should change the name from Meliora because Meliora is hard to spell. It's hard to find and it's not really searchable. People aren't really looking for that, but I pushed it off. And in fact, if you've listened for a while, you've probably heard some podcast episodes of why I wanted to keep the name and why I was being stubborn about it. But it just keeps coming back to mind and will not let me rest. So I am changing the name. I should have probably done this a year ago, but I did like Meliora. I still like the name Meliora, but it's going to be on the back burner and we're going to be going with positivity in pregnancy and in motherhood because that will be easier for more mothers to find, and that's what God wants me to do. I feel this pull that I need to be a light. I need to help mothers who are struggling in pregnancy and motherhood to find the positivity. And if you are there, thank you for joining me. If you've had hard times, if you still have hard times, but you want to find deeper joy and satisfaction, then this is the right podcast. It will take me a little bit to get all my website names and new theme kind of changed over, but we will get it done, and I'm really excited to move forward with this. It feels really good, and it feels like the next step. So what is this podcast going to look like? Well, it's actually going to basically be the same other than a new name. I am still going to do pregnancy episodes on Tuesday and a mindset and motherhood episode on Friday. And we're going to keep with that routine and schedule for now because that feels good. That feels right. And it will basically, like I say, be as it has been before. I started getting really into self-help and learning how to change my thoughts back in 2015. My husband and I somehow got free tickets to a seminar, a 3-day seminar, and somehow the stars aligned and we were able to go together. And that seminar changed my life. It changed every thought process I had, the way I was thinking, and it was liberating and it was exciting. And so in 2015, I started this process of learning about and working on my thoughts and changing them and finding other podcasters and mentors to help me in changing my thoughts. So originally, I just wanted to apply this to me. I just wanted myself, Jocelyn. I wanted me to have better thoughts and a happier life. I had 2 kids at the time, but I just was unsatisfied and unhappy in my motherhood. I was not enjoying motherhood like I always envisioned I would, and it was hard. It was really hard to be stuck. But going to that seminar helped me to realize that I don't have to be stuck. In fact, I can choose to get unstuck. And it was super liberating and powerful. So that was kind of where my journey of learning different thoughts, learning thought processes has started. Changing my thoughts changed me, and I want to be Insight in this podcast to help it change you because it is super powerful. I realized that I didn't have to be subject to my subconscious. In other words, I didn't have to let life just happen to me. I could be in charge of the emotions and feelings that I was feeling based on the thoughts that I was having. And over time and working at it, that changed me. It changed my motherhood. It changed me into the person more closer to the person that I desired to be. I didn't have to be subject to the reactions and the comments of others. I could choose what I wanted to think and what story I was going to tell myself that was going to serve me a lot better than letting my mind go wild and being subject to them and their control over me, which really they didn't really have control over me, but I was letting other people control me through letting my subconscious just run wild. As I got more intentional at these thoughts, it really helped. It helped me in pregnancy. I found tools in pregnancy that helped me to have a more positive pregnancy. And let me tell you, I hated pregnancy. I didn't just hate it, I loathed it. I didn't want to have more kids because I was so terrified of pregnancy. And especially that sick phase. Man, that really, really got me down. And it was so hard. But as I researched, as I studied, and as I strived to implement thought tools into my mind, surprisingly, to my surprise, it actually helped. It actually made a difference. And I know that if it made a difference for me, it can make a difference for you. It can make a difference for you in your motherhood and in your pregnancy, in becoming the daughter of God and becoming the mother of God's children that you desire to be. And I'm pretty passionate about encouraging this in other mothers. And you, I'm passionate in helping you to find better, to find the Meliora, to find the positivity. So thank you for joining me. So as we go throughout this podcast, I am going to share the positive tools, the mindset shifts, the analogies, the stories, and the examples that have changed my life, that have helped me, and that can help you move forward to learn faster than I did. Let me help mentor and guide you so that you can find your better pregnancy, your better motherhood, and the person you want to be. I want to end with a little poem that I found online by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And I think it ends this episode well. I know we didn't talk a lot about pregnancy, even though this is the Tuesday episode, but next week I am going to have more positivity in pregnancy, more examples of going through the hard phases of pregnancy and being positive, finding positivity, even though it is so hard. And trust me, I know that it is so hard. I have had a 9-week early baby. I have been sick, so sick with all of my babies. I've been through all the things, had a miscarriage. So we are going to continue talking about that next week. But in the meantime, this poem says, "This is my wish for you. Comfort on difficult days. Smiles when sadness intrudes. Rainbows to follow the clouds. Laughter to kiss your lips. Sunsets to warm your heart. Hugs when spirits sag. Beauty for your eyes to see. Friendships to brighten your being. Faith so that you can believe. Confidence for when you doubt. Courage to know yourself. Patience to accept the truth. Love to complete your life." And as I mentioned, that was from Ralph Waldo Emerson. I want to help you. I want to guide you. And if you know one of your mom friends who also desires positivity in pregnancy and motherhood, will you share this episode with her? Let's build a community of mothers who is striving to make their life better, who is striving to make their motherhood better, who is striving to be them. We need you. Your kids need you, and God needs you. You are amazing, Mama, and your children need you. Also, I did record a new outro jingle, so if you want to stay and listen to that, that'll give you even more insight on where we're focusing. So, thank you for listening and sharing and giving this podcast a rating and review. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts for a better you in a positive pregnancy, in losing that stubborn baby weight, and becoming the mom you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. I can help you find the small, doable steps without drastic changes to your everyday mom life. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.